UPTH after his arrest by the police says the result of the latest autopsy revealed that her late husband was tortured to death. Mrs. Ogechukwu Okereke said this while speaking with our correspondent.
Autopsy was arguing that they are not the one that killed my husband. Then they asked for autopsy. Then the autopsy have been done, and the autopsy shows that they are the one that killed the man through torturing. Autopsy, they are holding the death certificate. They refuse the autopsy results. They don't want to do anything about what concerning the death of Chukwudi. I want them to give death certificate to the family because that death certificate belongs to the family.
Also, the brother of late Chukwudi, Abraham Chukwudi, said some policemen after the autopsy had approached them for negotiations. Mr. Abraham Chukwudi also alleged that the police have refused to issue the family death certificate.
Instead of the police to arrest the people who killed my brother, rather they are going about telling they are negotiating with the family. The family is not interested in negotiation. All we want is for the people that killed my brother, for them to face the law. We want them to be persecuted. That's what we want. We don't want any negotiation. We want the people that committed those crimes for them to face the law. That's what we want as the family. And equally for the death certificate of Chukwudi to be handed over to the family.
On the spot, the chairman of the civil society organization, NFA George Wills, says he is disappointed with the police.
For us in the civil society space, we are encouraging the family to write to the Commissioner of Police and to make sure that he makes the death certificate available so that the family can go ahead and carry out traditional rites. From tomorrow, we're equally going to write to the Inspector General of Police and the Police Service Commission to ask the police command in the state why they are yet to take action. We will take these measures and make sure that they do the needful.
Recall that the Rivers State Police Command, in a statement after the autopsy, said the late Chukwudi Okereke, who died in the custody of the Octopus Strike Force unit of the command, was a kidnapper and a cultist. As you may know, the family of late Chukwudi Okereke is seeking justice after Chukwudi's body was found at the mortuary of the University of Port Harcourt Teaching Hospital, UPTH. The father, Mr. Abraham Okereke, told newsmen that his son was arrested by police officers of the Octopus Strike Force on 11th January and refused the family access to him. He said it took the police 4 months before they revealed the whereabouts of his son's body. And now the Rivers State Police Command says it deployed a tactical team to ensure the release of the director of the Rivers State Board of Internal Revenue Service, Aribibia Fubara. Now, the spokesperson for the River State Police Command, Grace Iringe Koko, said this after gunmen abducted Mr. Fubara at Okereka Waterfront near Marine Base, Port Harcourt. In other news, as more filling stations increased the cost of petrol to between 913 naira and 1,000 naira per litre on Monday, long queues continued at NNPC stations where the product sells for less than 900 naira. Our correspondent who visited some filling stations in Port Harcourt reports that some others were closed. A filling station owner tells our correspondent that the rising cost of petrol is still due to the increase in depot price. He called on the federal government to fast-track the repair of refineries in the country.
Today price at depot is 950 naira. Why we see us saying that we just have a little? Maybe by today our own might be finished. From now to maybe weekend it might go to 1,000 naira. Since depot is 950, before the person will truck it and look at his own profits, it might go up. So the government should do something. We have a Port Harcourt refinery, it's not working. All this way is importation. They import it.
Meanwhile, the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, NMDPRA, says it will shut down filling stations caught dispensing petrol at exorbitant rates. This is as more independent oil marketers say they've been buying petrol from private depot owners for as high as 850 naira per litre since last week. But the spokesperson of the NMDPRA, George Eneta, says the petrol price report that the regulator gets He says the petrol price report that the regulator gets from its officials at the depots are different. In another development, the king of Elelenwo, Sonny Chukwu, says equipment failure caused the oil spill that happened last week in Rumoduere of Elelenwo clan in Obiakpo local government area of River State. Dr. Chukwu tells correspondent Yobiruware that at his palace that the cause of the spill was revealed after a joint investigation team JIV exercise conducted on Monday.
The youth president was there, the CDC chairman was there. They are my eye. The results of JIV was out yesterday, and it was equipment failure. Compensating the affected area, the third party area. Their right of way were imparted, but the third party area, SPDC is dialoguing with those that are affected on the third party area to carry out assessment to see how they will compensate those affected. This one is just the palliative for the community, is just to cushion the effect. Let it be that the community have touch of what is there, that they want to do recovery, remediation of the area immediately.
Now, he said the company in charge will soon start remediation activities at the scene of the spill.
And I told them to go and carry out assessments on the third party area, because one of the churches was involved. Few women that had their water leaks on the third party area were equally involved. Ensure that compensation is being paid to the people who they accepted, and they've gone for assessment on this area. And apart from that, I've discussed with SPDC that should be palliative to cushion the effects of hunger this period within the community, which they have assured that palliatives will be sent accordingly. Irrespective of the crude was on the right of way, the communities will equally benefit.
On the spot, the head of the Rumoduere clan in Elelenwo, Eze Kenneth Otto, spoke of the impact of the oil spill in the area.
So that what happened there since on 21st day of August, Shell have not shown any impact. Even me, I've given them a letter. Up to now, they have not even responded to it. They did not come up to now. Is it good? It's not good. Maybe they are looking for some kind of action. They will say Lema people or Rumoduwe people, because this particular community is Rumoduwe autonomous community. I've advised them not to make trouble. Let us follow it with due process. We can't drink water again. This is a village. No matter that today we're having light, it's a community, and we depend on farm.
In other news, as the warning strike by the National Association of Resident Doctors to demand the release of their colleague enters its second day, resident doctors at the University of Port Harcourt Teaching Hospital UPTH did not offer healthcare services. President of the Association of Resident Doctors at UPTH, Dumbari Mbo, says the doctors are not in the right mood to offer their services. Dr. Mbo spoke to correspondent Martha Okere.
You have to be in the right frame of mind to offer service at the moment, because the trauma of having one of our colleagues being here for 8 months is affecting, huge, monumental on us. So that's the way we need to be healthy, and it is the release of our colleagues that will make us be in the right frame of mind to offer the needed services that we ought to do to our patients. So it's very unfortunate that such type of thing is happening in Nigeria at the moment.
Recall that Dr. Ganiyat Popola, a registrar in the Department of Ophthalmology at the National Eye Center, Kaduna, who was kidnapped nearly 8 months ago along with her husband. Recall that Dr. Ganiyat Popola, a registrar in the Department of Ophthalmology at the National Eye Center, Kaduna, was kidnapped nearly 8 months ago along with her husband and nephew. Now, the River State Ministry of Local Government Affairs says all is now set for a 2-day workshop for caretaker committee chairmen, their members and principal officers of the 23 local government councils in the state. Commissioner for Local Government Affairs, Prince Charles Bekir, said this during a press conference in Port Harcourt. The commissioner said the workshop, which has been tagged Enhancing Public Governance, is aimed at improving the skills, capacity, and knowledge of the CTC chairman.
The workshop is aimed at equipping the caretaker committee members and principal officers of the council with skills and knowledge to function optimally in their new assignments. The successful completion of this training will be a step in the right direction towards achieving better service delivery to the grassroots on the part of the CTC members and the principal officers of the council.
Prince Beke says the training was informed by the mandate from Governor Siminalayi Fubara, who is greatly concerned about human capacity development in the state.
His Excellency Sir Siminalayi Fubara, being an advocate of good governance and accountability, upon the appointment and swearing-in of the caretaker committee chairman and their members in the 23 local government area of the state, directed our ministry, that's the Ministry of Local Government Affairs, to organize a training workshop for the newly appointed CTC chairman and their members, including the principal officers of the local government.
The two-day workshop will be held from Thursday, the 29th to Friday, the 30th of August at the Nigerian Bar Association MBA Complex on Moscow Road, Port Harcourt. Still to come, stakeholders differ on ban of under 18 from writing WAEC NECO exams. Stay with us.
Light Up Port Harcourt Music Festival. Over 10,000 youths and music lovers on the 15th of September 2024 by
You're welcome back, and now the rest of the news. Now, Southeast governors and National Assembly lawmakers say they are working to ensure that students from the region can benefit from the federal government's student loan scheme. Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives Benjamin Kalu announced on Monday that efforts are underway to resolve issues and include Southeast students in the loan program. This comes after concerns were raised about the region's exclusion from the list of institutions eligible for the Nigerian Education Loan Fund. And now the Nigerian Union of Teachers has condemned the federal government's decision to ban under-18 candidates from sitting for the West African Senior School Certificate Examination at the National Examination Council. Now, the Secretary General of NUT, Mike Ene, said that changes in society, like early enrollment in creches due to economic pressures, made it unrealistic to restrict learning based on age. He advocated for the implementation of the policy from the foundation. Also speaking, the national president, the Academic Staff Union of Polytechnic ASUP, Shama Banja, said the decision to allow students under 18 not to sit for exams should depend on their abilities, saying that gifted students might not need to spend the full years in school. He advised the government to focus on critical issues like providing functional equipment in schools, addressing infrastructure deficit, and improving teachers' welfare rather than on exam age restrictions. Also, the national president of the Academic Staff Union of Universities, Professor Emmanuel Osadeke, said children should follow the standard academic progression, 6 years in primary school and 6 years in secondary school, before moving on to the university at the age of 18. Recall that the Minister of Education, Professor Tahir Maman, banned candidates below 18 years from sitting WAEC and NECO examinations. And now in business, a report by the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics shows that domestic travelers paid 25% more for air flight in July 2024. The development comes after the federal government said it would further raise its tax charges amid complaints by the airline operators of Nigeria over multiple taxations. In entertainment, singer Mariah Carey says she lost her mother, Patricia, and sister Alison on the same day. In sport, the Nigeria Football Federation (NFF) has appointed former Stuttgart boss Bruno Labbadia was interviewed by the NFF on Thursday after talks with Wade Anderson and Frenchman Hervé Renard collapsed.
And now, we bring you news from around the world.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says Kyiv will undoubtedly respond to Russia's recent and all other attacks. President Zelensky said this as Russia launched another wave of strike on Ukraine a day after one of its biggest air attacks on the war. Now, at least 4 people were killed overnight.
This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Now that's a wrap on the news this afternoon. Before we go, let's have a look at the major stories. Ogechukwu, the wife of late Chukwudi Okereke, said the recent autopsy report has indicted the police of torturing her husband to death. The police say it has begun a manhunt for the kidnappers of the director of Rivers State Revenue Service, Aribibia Fubara. The federal government has vowed to shut down urine filling stations over illegal price increase. Some stakeholders have expressed different views following the federal government ban of under 18 from sitting WAEC NECO exams. On the foreign scene, Ukrainian president has vowed a response following a series of Russian strikes. The news was edited by Onyeka Chinwosu. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808-721-7215. I am Ifechukwu Moyele. Many thanks for listening.